welcome to our first edition of MCS News. I'm Amoi.
And I'm Pam Duffy.
Thanks for joining us. September 26 is a date many of us here at UM will never forget, as hundreds from around the state gathered in Palmer to attend an unforgettable evening with Maya Angelou. Ms. Angelou, world-renowned author of I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings and Gather Together in My Name, appeared as the first of many speakers for UM's concert and lecture series. Angelou's presentation focused on the importance of experience in life through reading. The program was followed by an informal reception where UM students got the opportunity to meet with Ms. Angelou and hear her comments on grace.
Your very best if you are very blessed and the creek don't rise. You will use education to create grace. Grace. So you do not push. You don't do that. Leave that for small children to do. Men and women act with grace and courtesy. Yes? Is it right? Am I right?
The University of Montevallo has been invited to perform at the 1992 Choral Directors Convention. The choir is under the direction of Dr. Bradley Logan and is one of 3 collegiate mixed choruses selected to perform. The convention will take place in Savannah, Georgia, March 11th through the 14th. Dr. Logan cites, "This is an honor and we offer our congratulations to him and the choir."
In September, the SGA sponsored a concert of Drivin' and Cryin' with Slick Lily as their opening act. Approximately 800 students attended the show. But unfortunately, the students enjoyed the concert a little too much. Following the concert, $5,000 worth of damage was assessed in Palmer Auditorium. And when we return, we'll continue with a look at our new tennis courts, sports, and much more. Stay tuned.
The MassCom building and parking lots are not the only new facilities on campus this year. UM students were welcomed back this semester with brand new tennis courts. The new courts, located by the Student Retreat Center, have 3 fenced-in courts. The new courts are well lit so students and Montevallo residents can enjoy a good match well into the night. David Schmitz, SGA president, had this to say about student reaction.
Everyone really enjoys the new tennis courts and the new parking facility. The only one little complaint I do hear is that they don't like to walk all the way up that hill, but I guess that's good exercise anyway.
Boy, it certainly has been good weather for a tennis match lately.
Well, it might have been good weather for tennis. I can't play, but I understand there are a lot of those high school students still out there practicing football. Is football season still going on?
Getting ready for that second season. The regular season is over, but you know, in this state, football season runs year-round. But the high school teams are getting ready for the playoffs, and for the first time since 1984, the Montevallo Bulldogs will take part in the high school football playoffs. Jim Vakakis' squad qualified for postseason action as the Class 4A Area 7 runner-up. Now, their first-round opponent is a tough one. The Bulldogs travel to Livingston Friday night, and the Cougars are 8-2 on the season, and they're ranked 8th in the state heading into the playoffs. The Bulldogs closed out the regular season last week with a 20-13 victory over Shelby County. The Bulldogs went ahead on the final play of the third quarter when Lance Gibson hit his big tight end Mike Jones across the middle for a 37-yard touchdown. The Wildcats answered back with with 6:34 left in the game on Shannon Niven's touchdown from a yard out. But the big play in the ball game came a couple of minutes later when Shelby County's Cody Quinn fumbled Noah Miller's punt at the Wildcat 37-yard line. Now that set up the game winner for the Bulldogs. Gibson hit Morgan Lawley from 23 yards out on this play, and the Bulldogs had their 3rd win of the year. Shelby County finishes the season at 3-7. Now, as the football season winds down, the 1991-92 basketball season is cranking up. Let's take a look at some of the action from Tuesday's doubleheader at Myrick Hall as Montevallo's men's and women's teams tipped off for the first time. Rob Spivey's Falcons started the year on a winning note with a 63-44 victory over Southern Tech. Junior forward Greg DeJarnette led Montevallo with 18 points, while freshman Nate Driggers pumped in 14. This is a young Falcon squad that has only one senior on its roster, and if Montevallo is going to return to the District 27 playoffs, some talented underclassmen will have to mature early. Now, the Lady Falcons opened with a tough loss to Czechoslovakia. Montevallo lost 114-87, despite getting 25 points from Bethany Forsland. Now, there's going to be some action in Myrick Hall tonight, but it's not basketball. We've got some volleyball action. The Lady Falcons playing host to Huntington College for the District 27 championship. The winner advances to the bi-district playoffs, and Coach Judy Green's squad, ranked 5th in the country in this week's NAIA poll, needs fan support. They start at 7 o'clock in Myrick Hall. Ought to be a good one.
Well, Chris, I hope I get a chance to support not only the volleyball team, but the basketball team as well. Thanks a lot, Chris. If you are a commuter, then you're probably glad to see the new parking lots by the racquetball courts. The lot was constructed this summer due to the increase in commuter enrollment. There are now more parking spaces available. Along with its opening, spaces along Flower Hill were eliminated due to safety reasons.
If you have not had a chance to catch one of the university's theater performances, you still have time. This week, the theater department closes their faculty productions with The Emperor's New Clothes. There will be one evening performance tonight at 7:30 and the final show tomorrow morning at 10.
It's been a long time coming, but alas, the new mass communication building has reached completion.
Despite many delays, the University of Montevallo Mass Communication Department is now moved into the new Mass Communication Center. MassCom's home for years, the ETV building, is headed for either storage space or demolition. The new center was originally scheduled for a June 29th completion. Throughout the summer, the completion date was pushed back to July 15th, August 1st, August 15th, then finally September 10th. The first week of the fall semester, construction was complete enough to allow the staff to move in. As the semester progressed, editing machines, cameras, and other equipment vital to MassCom operation was moved from ETV to the new building. Student volunteers assisted in the hookup of the equipment. A long wait for cabinets and other equipment to arrive was a major delay for the center. Without equipment to work with, much MassCom class activity has been disrupted. Television and sports production classes have been unable to produce. In addition, MassCom's weekly program, MCS News, has only begun production this week. On November 8th, the new MassCom Center for the University of Montevallo was fully operational. After a long wait and numerous delays, the University of Montevallo's new MassCom Center is finally on the air. I'm Joe Crow for MCS News.
And that wraps it up for this Thursday edition of MCS News. Thanks for joining us. We will now leave you with some scenes from the mass communications party held earlier this semester. Until next week, good night.